My Lord, the state calls the first witness. It's Sergeant Johannes Mosia. He is witness number 46. That is now the night of the 26th of October 2014 going into the 27th of October 2014.
Oh, on the 26th of October 2014, at about 23 hours, 45 minutes, I received a call to attend an alleged scene of crime as a forensic crimes scene investigator.
Monsieur, remember that you have taken photos, and what happened thereafter after you've taken photos and did your own observations on the scene? What happened further? Sergeant, you've covered the scene. Yes.
And on my arrival, the crime scene was cordoned off with a crime scene tape. He explained to me the scene of incident. Then we conducted a walkthrough into the crime scene. I then protected and secured some visible evidence found on the kitchen floor, which was a bullet jacket, a black white Scotch hat, and a walking stick.
So you came at night, you processed the scene as per Exhibit A, you took the exhibits along, and you came back again in the morning.
That's correct, man.
With Lieutenant Colonel Mhlahlo. Just explain to the court as to what happened there.
I explained to the task team about the scene of incident, and we investigated the scene together with the task team.
Yes.
And as we were investigating, then we followed the movement of the bullet, which was the bullet hole which was at the back of the door, kitchen door. We traced the movement of the bullet and managed to find the bullet on the kitchen top of the kitchen unit, behind the glass jars.
So you already know where I stand with regards to the glass jars and the bullet jacket that was found behind those glass jars. But if you missed the previous video, go ahead and click up here. I'm going to link it up here. Go ahead and catch up with that video. Then come to this one, because in this video we're going through the DNA swabs. So a few housekeeping rules. Please remember to like this video. Go ahead and like it right away. Okay, like it right away. Okay, like it right away, please. And then let's jump straight into it. I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Can you explain in simple terms what is a swab?
A swab is an evidence collection kit used to collect DNA from various surfaces.
Yes. What did you use to collect the DNA material? What did you use?
I used this evidence swab.
Yes. Just explain in simple terms what is a swab. How do you take a swab? Maybe
if you were to tell us what manner of evidence a swab is used to collect.
It is used to collect DNA, my lord.
Right. Now, what do you use to take a swab?
To take a swab?
Yes, what do you use?
I'm using my hand.
It was at this moment that I knew my problems are many, and there's definitely not going to be any conclusion to this case anytime soon. Imagine a forensic senior, 14 years experience, swab taker, is asked, what do you use to collect the evidence? And he responds, my hand. I mean, it was over for me. It was over for me. Like, the South African Police Services has continuously gone ahead and shown incompetence, for lack of a better word. How does he respond with, my hand? Listen, what equipment are you using? How are you taking these swabs? What is the problem? Even Baloyi tried. He tried really hard to rephrase this question. The judge jumped in to say, no, but tell us how you're doing it. And he says, I don't know what else to tell you. I'm using my hand. And for this reason alone, Mzansi, I conclude this evidence should have been thrown out. There is definitely no competency here. And one thing for sure, for me, my concern is how do we know that his hand did not contaminate the crime scene? How do we know that it was secured from the time he left the scene of the crime? He left, he went away. Okay, he came back the next day. And then he came back with the special task force and. But yeah, I just had to pause with that feedback. But let's keep on listening. I assure you, it gets worse.
What I mean is, what instrument do you use to take a swab?
I'm using a swab itself.
Okay. Proceed.
So a swab is an instrument that is used to collect DNA evidence.
That's correct, madam.
Yes?
If we look at page 68, photo 72, there's a hand there wearing a glove, and there's that long, that looks like a stick. What is that?
Photo number?
Photo number 72 on page 68.
That is the evidence collection swab, madam.
Are you familiar with an earbud?
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Would you say there's any relation between what we see in page 72 and an earbud?
Yes, I think they're similar.
Yes. In short, what is a swab, Sergeant, with reference to page 72, that
A swab.
object that we see there? Yes.
A swab.
Yes.
What is it?
Yes. If you were just to describe it in simple terms, what do we see there on photo 72?
A swab is used to collect DNA.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. He's just explained the process of taking swabs with reference to the relevant photos. Page 14.
Page 14.
Yes.
I will start with swab 1. And I will be referring to photo, what is it, exhibit B, what is it, exhibit B. Photos taken by Colonel Mhlahlo. I will be referring to them.
Yes.
And I will start from photo 69 on page 67 of exhibit B. And on photo 69, it indicates a sealed evidence swabbing collection kit on the floor inside the house on the scene. The DC evidence collection kit number is 14 for possible DNA evidence and the skin epithelial cell. That is the tissue forming the outer of the body surface.
So where was the swab collected?
I'm still coming there, Melo.
Okay. Yes.
Then I'll prefer to go photo by photo.
Yes. May I proceed?
And photo 70 indicates the close-up photo of an evidence collection kit, collection swabbing kit with kit number 14DC AH8988.
Yes.
And on page, photo 71 indicates the opened swabbing collection kit with the same reference number 14DC AH8988. And on photo 72, it indicates my hand with a dry swab collected from bedroom 1, door handle, marked exhibit swab 1.
Can you just explain to the court what is a dry swab?
It's a swab. There's a dry swab and a wet swab. A wet swab, there's a distilled water inside this evidence collection kit. Then we use that distilled water to wetten the swab. And the dry one is the one which that distilled water is not used. Okay.
I can't believe this. I just, I tried to sit through with an objective mind, to be patient, to be not judgmental. But you know what? Scrap that thought. Scrap that thought. This is justice for Senzo Meyiwa. This is justice for so many other cases. This is who needs to be able to answer the question, what is a dry swab? That should be something that he can answer like this. That should be something that he does on a regular basis, okay? He is a forensic and done, okay? It is his job to be able to answer these questions without even blinking, but he could not. I like the struggle from, would you say it's an earbud? He just cannot describe. And you know what? I thought, maybe it's limitations of language. Maybe he should have done this in his, in his first language, but no. You know what? He had the choice whether he wanted to speak in English or speak in his first language. He chose to speak in English, and for that reason, my commentary is based on what he is presenting. How can he not be able to answer what is a dry swab? So you know what? I am not a forensic in Doni, and I want to know why they're using a dry swab and a wet swab, and how does this impact the evidence that is being presented here with all these pages and photos? And what is the importance of a dry and wet swab? So I turned, to my friend over there, Google. It's 2024. You can find everything online, okay? It says, and I love this explanation. I wish he had said that. It says, when sampling this type of evidence, okay, the wet-dry swabbing method is preferred. 1 to 2 drops of sterile water, in his case he says distilled water, I think it's the same thing, is placed on a sterile cotton swab. The same cotton swab that Advocate Baloyi was trying to get him to say. But no. He cannot say that. It goes on to say the area of interest is swabbed with the moistened swab tip using mild force to remove cellular material and continuously rotating the swab with the goal of an even collection around the circumference of the cotton material. Okay? The wet swab collects some cellular material and also serves to loosen any cells that remain on the item. Okay, now we know why we need a wet swab. Did you guys know that? I just learned that right now. It goes on to say, then using a separate dry swab, again using the same mild force and rotating technique on the same area that was swabbed with the wet swab. The dry swab serves to collect any cellular material dislodged by the wet swab. Oh, I think I've seen this in the movies. I think I've seen them do this in the movies when there's like now a powdery thing and you want to collect it. Okay. Guess what? There's a whole other section. Okay. I'm not a DNA expert, but there's more stuff. It goes on to say like what every responding officer should know about DNA evidence. I think he needs to read this too. There's another section that says collecting DNA evidence at property crime scene. DNA, a prosecutor's practice notebook. Baloyi. Crime scene and DNA basics. Laboratory safety program, DNA amplification, population genetics and statistics, non-STR DNA markers, firearms examiner training, that weird bullet situation behind the bulletproof glasses, forensic DNA education for law enforcement decision makers, okay? What every investigator and evidence technician should know about DNA evidence, principles of forensic DNA for officers of the court, law 101, you know what? I could just do this and become a DNA expert myself. Like, this is a lot of information. It's valid information. And I think Officer Colonel, now Sargent Mosia, you did the Senzo Meyiwa DNA collection forensic in Dontoni a massive injustice. And we are in this place now without knowing who the killer is because, one, the DNA collection was not done properly, in my opinion. And secondly, where is Did you take gun residue, blah, blah, blah? Did you do a gun residue from, did you test them for gun residue? Did you test them for gun residue? All those that were in there, Makumalo, Mapira, that whole gang. One of them at that time would have had gun residue. One of them. But that wasn't done. We're not hearing about gun residue. And you know what? I'm upset. I'm truly upset because this is the South Africa. Tomorrow it could be you. There's another case that I was watching where the girl says they even produced the video of her brother being shot, but the guy is walking out free. You know what? Let's listen to the rest of this nonsense.
And photo 73 indicates a packaged evidence collection kit box containing a dry swab 1. It's a swab 1.
Yes.
And with a DC kit number 14DC-AH8988.
Yes.
It appears on page 14, my lord, just next to swap 1.
Page?
Page 14.
It's the close-up photo of forensic evidence bag with bag number PA 40021536697.
So both swabs 3 and 4 containing possible blood on the floor next to TV stand were placed in the same evidence bag.
That's correct, my lord. Photo 101 indicates 2 packaged dry swab 7 and wet swab 8 with evidence collection kit number 14DC-AB7773. Photo 102 indicates the packaged and sealed evidence bag with bag number PA 40019080078 on the floor.
So once again, Sergeant, both the dry swab number 7 collected from the toilet door as well as the wet swab from the toilet door were all placed in the same forensic evidence bag PA 40019080078.
That's correct, my lord.
And here's another problem I have with placing the wet and dry swab in the same evidence bag. Does that not cross-contaminate, cross-pollinate, I know it's not pollinate, but is there no cross something happening there? Why couldn't they have been put in separate bags so that we say, okay, from the wet swab, this is what this DNA came out. From the dry swab, it concludes this. But if you're going to put them both in the same evidence bag, whew, there's a lot of indiscretions in this evidence collecting business. But this is what you get when you send a junior, because he was junior at the time. He was a constable at the time. He was an entry-level police officer who had no business doing forensic stuff alone, unsupervised. But you know what? Let's also go into the part that he talks about that. He goes on to talk about that he also took a wet and dry swab collection of DNA on the toilet door. Now, you remember what happened at the toilet door. The toilet door is where Uzandi is. I was going through Uzandi's Instagram yesterday because I was doing the video that I talk about the grant money that Uzandi and Ukeli received. Okay? If you haven't watched that video, oh my goodness, click up here. Watch it, please, so that you know how other people are applying for grants, okay, from the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture, and not telling other people about it and benefiting from their influence. But you know what? I digress. Let's get back into the Senzo Meyiwa trial. So I was going into her Instagram because I needed pictures just to look at that. And there's some part, I'm like, you know what? Uzandi is a very small and short woman. She's very short. Now, if you remember the evidence that Uzandi gave, not the evidence, her witness testimony, and she says she was at the bathroom door, she pushed, you know, the intruder was pushing and she was pushed. Can you take a look at Undanzi? We're going to say it wasn't Danzi who was pushing, or even accused number 3, okay? Zandi is so tiny. I cannot say that she is able to defeat the ends of justice, but okay, well, that's a conversation for another day, that she is able to defeat and push a bathroom door shut while the intruders are trying to get in through the bathroom door. Like, there's so much strength and courage in their stories. But at the end of the day, Senzo Meyiwa ended up dead. Since they had so much strength, why could they not tie up one of these intruders and keep them in there? I'll tell you why. There was no intruder. But I digress. They collected the wet and dry swab from the toilet door. I'm guessing they're trying to follow through with Uzandi's story that there was a door pushing situation going on. But guess what? The DNA evidence was never conclusive and also does not place either any of the 5 accused over there at this bazaar house. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on Mzansi. Let me know your thoughts on this forensic collection business going on. Part 3 is also going to be loading. I'm going to put it up for you tomorrow. Part 3 is where we go over the alcohol cans, okay? So make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching from outside the club, what are you waiting for? Okay. Guess what? I have a brand new channel, okay? And I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your support. So please, I'm going to link it up here. Click it. Please subscribe to the channel. Over there, I talk about everything, a government of national unity. And I'm dropping a video on the Julius Malema saga. Okay, the Julius Malema saga, my opinions on that, my unfiltered opinions on Julius Malema, EFF, fraud. What in the Mzansi Unfiltered is going on here? But I'll catch you on the other side. I'll talk about it more over there. So make sure you're subscribed. Don't miss that commentary. You're going to enjoy it as well. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave this channel. When you support a content creator like myself, okay, you're helping keeping the lights on. Angina Babekai, okay? So I rely on you. And you know what? I tell you all the time, I love you. I love you. If you've made it this far in my video, you already know you have my heart. Thank you for watching the ads. Thank you for supporting the channel. And please like this video. Share this video with the last 3 people that you chatted with on WhatsApp, because sharing is caring. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload.